Good day, we are Group 5, and today we will be presenting our research study about multiple channel service recovery, opportunities, and challenges. These are my group mates, Owen Gamal, Leonard Sanchez, and I'm Samantha Ansures as a group leader. So before we begin, let me give you a quick overview of what we'll be covering in our discussion today. First, we'll start with Chapter 1, Introductions, where we present the background, purpose, objectives, and significance of our study. And next, Chapter 2, Discussion of Key Concepts, where we will explain the importance, ideas, and theories related to our topic. Then, Chapter 3, Data Gathering, where we'll share how we collected our data and the methods we use. Followed by Chapter 4, discussion where we'll be discussing the conclusions and recommendation based on our findings. After that, we will present our references and also appendices. Background information. In today's fast-paced digital era business, no longer rely on just one method to communicate with their customers. Instead, they use various platforms such as phone calls, email, live chat, mobile app, and social media to stay connected. This strategies is called multiple channel service recovery, or in short, MCSR. MCSR focuses on resolving customer complaint or service failures by using this multiple communication channel, depending on what most convenient for the customers. Purpose of our study. This study focuses on how business manage service recovery across multiple communications channels such as phone, email, social media, and live chat. This research also explored both opportunities and challenges that come with using these various channels for service recovery and how doing so can enhance customer satisfaction, trust, and loyalty. Objectives. First, to explore how business manage service recovery through channels like phone, email, social media, and live chat. To identify both opportunities and challenges in delivering consistent support across platforms. Third, to assess how MCSR affect customer trust and loyalty. Lastly, to provide strategic recommendations that can help improve service recovery and strengthen customer relationship. These objectives guide our research. Significance of the study. Managing service recovery across multiple channels is now critical for business, especially since customers expect fast and consistent support whether they reach out by phone, email, or social media. This study aims to provide insight into the challenges and opportunities of multiple channel service recovery or MCSR, what makes service recovery successful and where business still struggle. In addition, the study offers practical strategies that companies can apply to improve how they handle customers' issues across different, helping them boost customer satisfaction, trust, and loyalty.
Recovery is essentially how organizations respond when things go wrong. It is about fixing the issue, restoring satisfaction, and rebuilding trust with the customer. As Kamitov and colleagues noted in 2020, this has become a critical part of customer experience management. Now, for our recitation question, what do you think is the main goal of service recovery and why is it important for customer experience management? Now, with customers interacting through so many different touchpoints, from physical stores and call centers to websites and social media, service recovery has had to evolve. It's no longer a single channel process. So, another question, why has service recovery evolved beyond a single channel approach in recent years? Multi-channel service recovery involves coordinating efforts across all of these platforms. The goal is to ensure that no matter where the customer reaches out, whether they start in store and follow up online, they get a consistent and effective response. As Van Burenberg et al. Emphasized in 2018, these customers often move between channels depending on convenience or how complex the issue is. So it's important that the organization align their recovery efforts to match this behavior. So another question, what is the main purpose of coordinating service recovery across multiple channels? We're diving into a critical aspect of customer satisfaction. In our increasingly complex multi-channel environment, justice theory in service recovery, when things go wrong and they inevitably will, how we handle those situations can significantly impact customer loyalty and our brand reputation. This slide breaks down justice theory into three components, each playing a vital role in how customers perceive fairness and during service recovery. So let's explore each one. So first, we have the distributed justice. This is perhaps the most tangible aspect, focusing on the fairness of the outcome. Think of it as what of the resolution. Did the customer receive a fair refund? Was a replacement offered promptly? Or was a reasonable discount applied to compensate for the inconvenience? Ultimately, it is about whether the customer feels they received adequate compensation for the problem they experienced. Next, we move to procedural justice. This is about the fairness of the policies and processes involved in resolving the issue. In a multi-channel context, this is crucial. Was it easy for the customer to report a problem? Could they seamlessly switch between channels, like moving from a phone call to online chat, without losing information or starting over? Did they feel the process was transparent and efficient? It's not just about getting a resolution, but how that resolution is reached. And finally, we have the interactional justice. This focuses on the fairness in interpersonal treatment. This is the human element. How we interact with customers during the recovery process. Did they feel heard and understood? Were they treated with empathy and respect? Were our representatives polite and responsive? Even if the outcome isn't ideal, a positive interaction can significantly mitigate the negative impact of a service failure. So in a multi-channel world, this three justices became or has become even more intertwined. Customers expect seamless transitions and consistent treatment across all touchpoints. A failure in any one of these areas can lead into dissatisfaction and erosion of trust. So therefore, understanding and implementing these principles of justice theory is not just a theoretical exercise. It's a practical necessity for building strong, lasting customer relationships in our multi-channel service environment by focusing on fair outcomes, transparent processes, and empathetic interactions. We can turn potential service failures into a opportunity for building customer loyalty and advocacy. So for our question, what specific steps can a company take to ensure their online service recovery process is perceived as fair and efficient by customers? Now, let's look at channel integration quality, which is crucial for a smooth multi-channel experience. It has three components. The first is the data integration. This ensures that we have consistent customer information across all channels, allowing for personalized interactions. Then the second is the process integration. So this focuses on how seamlessly tasks and information move between the channels. So this prevents the customer frustration. And the third is the experience integration. This guarantees consistent brand messaging and service delivery no matter how the customer interacts with us. So all of those three are vital for a positive customer journey. And for the question, considering that data, process, and experience integration, which of these three do you think has the biggest impact on customer satisfaction and why? Let's discuss the key customer outcomes we aim for effective service recovery. These are the results we want to achieve with our customers. So first is the recovery satisfaction. This is about ensuring customer feels positive about how their issue was resolved. And second is a trust restoration. Crucially, we want to rebuild any lost confidence in our brand after a problem occurred. So that's it. And then the third one is the loyalty reinforcement. Ultimately, a good recovery should strengthen their commitment to us and encourage them to do business with us again. So these three outcomes are all important goals to service recovery. So considering recovery satisfaction, trust restoration, and loyalty reinforcement, which of these do you believe has the biggest impact on our customer relationships in the long run, and why? We all know that customers interact with us through various channels: phone, email, social media, chat, you name it. And when things go wrong, they expect us to fix it quickly and effectively. But delivering seamless service recovery across all these channels is far from simple. Firstly, we have the issue of data integration. As Lazo pointed out in 2024, the sheer volume of customer data generated across these multiple channels is overwhelming. Synthesizing this information into meaningful insights is a daunting task. We're dealing with a data deluge, and we need robust systems to make sense of it all. Secondly, we face complexity of customer expectations. Today's customers are demanding. They expect immediate responses and resolutions. Regardless of the channel they choose, this complexity of customer expectations translates into immediate pressure on us to provide rapid and effective service recovery every single time. So, finally, we have the challenge of channel consistency. As Gao et al. Highlighted in 2022, ensuring consistent service recovery across all channels is difficult. Customers may receive vastly different responses or solutions depending on whether they contact us via phone, email, or social media. This lack of uniformity can lead to frustration and erode customer trust. So, that is all. And for our question, I want you to choose a challenge in multi-channel service recovery and provide a brief explanation about it. While challenges exist, there are significant opportunities for businesses that master this area. First, we have the potential for enhanced customer loyalty. When a company effectively resolves a customer's issue across multiple channels, it demonstrates a commitment to satisfaction. This can transform a dissatisfied customer into a loyal advocate. Think about a time when a company went above and beyond to fix a problem for you. It makes you want to return to that company, right? So next is the multi-channel interactions that provide wealth of data. So opening a door for data collection and analysis. By analyzing customer feedback and complaints from various channels, companies can identify patterns and proactively improve service delivery. This data allows for making informed decisions to enhance customer experience. Finally, positive service recovery and significant contributes to an improved brand reputation. In today's interconnected world, customer experiences are readily shared. By consistently delivering excellent service recovery, companies build trust and credibility, enhancing their brand image. This is vital in solidifying a company's standing in today's market. In short, effective channel service recovery isn't just about fixing problems. It's about building stronger customer relationships, gaining valuable insights, and enhancing your brand's reputation. And now for our question, explain how effective multi-channel service recovery can create business opportunities.
We introduced our metadata collection, a research related to the primary data we use to structure survey questionnaire create and distribute through Google Form, which allow to use efficiently reach the diverse group of participants. This method helped to collect specific insight the customer experience. Question: why do you think dividing a survey into key sections is important for data clarify? Into a primary data collection process, we collect the data from the participants as tracks to the surveys online. The survey was divided into three essential. First is the demographics, to understand the background of respondents. Next is customer experience, to focus on how they interact with the service channels. And last is perceptions and satisfaction. We look to the emotional and evaluate response. Recitation question: what are the advantages and limitations of using convenience sampling in the survey? Research. This slide explains how the survey administered. We used the Google Form which made the survey easy to access and distribute are the target participants. We select the using convenience sampling. Focus on the individual from the background to gain diverse insight. The surveys feature multiple choice questions to make the data analyzed simplify. We also took care in the wording of the questions to avoid the bias and ensure neutrality, which is essential for the validity of our result. Question. Recitation question. How do the three survey sections work together to give the full picture of this customer journey? This slide summarizes the key section of the R service survey. First, the demographics section helps us to understand who are the respondents at knowing their age and employment status adds context to their feedback. Next, the customer experience dives in the real-world support incidents where they happen, how the long response ends to consider the support consistent across the channels. As is perception and satisfactions. This is to explore how the service affects clarity and which elements of recovery customer truly value. Things like speed, tones, and accessible. These insights happen to analyze not just what happened, but how people feel, what they affect moving forward. Station question. Which of these secondary resources do you think offer most reliable insight on the improving customer service strategy and why? Slides outline to the secondary resources used to the support of the study. First, we used the academic work of the Wirtz and Martilla 2004, which explored the service recovery methods across the different customer support channels. This research helped to understand the theoretical background of the multi-channel service strategies. Next is we look to the Sandex Customer Experience Trends to the Reports 2023. It's to provide the real-world data on how the customer preference of the expectation have been resolved, especially of the digital age. Last is the Department of the Trade of Industry, or DTI, gave the relevant insight into how the BPO industry in the Philippines is adapting to the digital transformations. These government reports help to align up the binding of their local business context. Overall, these results help to confirm the fast response times and consistent experience and effective use to the digital are the central to the success full service the recovery day. Recitation question. What does the high percentage of service-related issue customer drop tell us about received recovery effectiveness? Alright, now let's move on the result R survey, which include the total 30 participants. First of 70% of our respondents were between the age of 18 to 24, and the same percentage identified as a student. This tells us that the most of participants are young and likely familiar with the digital service channel. Next, a significance of 86.7% shared that they has experienced some kind of service issue or complaint with the business. When they need to contact customer service, 70% choose the use to the phone, and this interesting considering all the digital options available today. It shows to the voice of support is still very relevant. When it came to how the quickly company responds, 50% said they gave that response within the 24 hours. That doesn't time frame. Even better, 83.3 said the issue was resolved over their satisfaction. We also asked with support channel they found the most effective. Again, now 50% picked the phone support. So it's clear the voice communication continue to play the key role of resolving issue effectively. Our topic of consistency, 63.3 said of support they receive a consistent across different platforms. The good sign, but it also suggests there is still room for improvements. One of the most surprising results of 80% of the respondents has actually stopped using a company's service because of bad experience. That number of highly really highlights how what's critical recovery is when it comes to relating a customer. Lastly, we asked what matter most of service recovery. The top of answer is close, choosing a 50% because response time. In the summary, this result is clarified to show that customer speed, consistency, and effective communication. These elements are the beautiful in the trust and loyalty, especially in multiple channel environment. Finding observation. This slide is present the key observation from the survey. A significant 86.7% of participants report experience service-related problem. This shows the service failure are a common part of the customer experience and must be addressed strategically. When it comes to communication rapport, respondents show the balance between the digital and traditional channel, with social media, phone, and interaction being the most used. However, the concern remains regarding responsiveness. Only half of the respondents received a reply within 24 hours, and while 83.3 had their issues resolved, over 63% still observed inconsistent service across platforms. This suggests a lack of integration in a multiple channel support system. The most alarming finding is 80% of participants have stopped using a company service due to poor customer support. This highlights how to close the service quality is linked to customer loyalty. Finally, this is the last is a fast response time to stood out of the top priority. For the service recovery, selected by 50% responded. This underscored to the need for the speed and efficiently in addressing customer concern. Recitation question. Which theory best explain why a customer using a service after a bad experience and why? First, the expectancy discrimination theory by Yuan in 2015. This theory explains the customer satisfaction determined by the gap between we have to expect and what they actually result of our standing. This satisfaction was often caused by delay and unresolved issue. A clear case, negative disconfirmation, response unexpected, quick and effective support, and but we outcome fell short and led to this disappointment. Next is Justice Story from Narab and College in 2017. This story focuses on the fairness and service recovery across the three areas: procedural and fairness, how the peer and the progress distribute fairness. Whether the resolution is acceptable and interaction firm, meaning respect communication or participants emphasize and improve the past response and respectful tone, indicating how much the value of fair and counterness treatment. Lastly is a multiple channel service management theory. This theory, we stress to need the consistency across the service platform so the customer engage across the various channels. Phone, chat, email, and social media, and they expect the empathy quality and service everywhere, but our data show the 63.3 respondent experience inconsistency, highlight and real challenge business face in the delivery seamless service. Hesitation question. If you were to improve this study data collection, what method would you add and why? First, the small sample of size of 30 participants limited how widely we use generalize our findings. Also, we only used to close-ended survey questions, which did not give the space of individual insights. Time and budget constraints prevents us from conducting interview or case study. And finally, because responses were self-reported, they are have some response bias. Lastly is justification. Despite this issue, we select the online survey method for a good reason. It was efficient, cost-effective, and easy to distribute. We ensured the participants was anonymous and voluntary, which helped to reduce bias and uphold ethical standards. Overall, even a few constraints, that method gave a solid structure into multiple channel service recovery. Hesitation question. If you were to improve this study data collection, what method would you add and why?
In conclusion, our study highlights the multiple channels service recovery plays a key role in today's customer service. First, it clearly improved customer satisfaction, trust, and loyalty, which are crucial for long-term success. Second, with the rise of digital platforms, customers now expect fast and consistent support, no matter which channel they use. Third, business that implement integrated recovery provide smoother and more effective customer experience. And finally, effective MCSR helps companies stay competitive and retain their customer in the fast-paced market. For the recommendation to improve MCSR, business shall develop an integrated strategy to ensure consistent and seamless support across all platforms. Support teams must be trained to respond quickly, efficient, and using tools that unify communication regular. Assessment and customer feedback are also essential to continuously improve service recovery, strengthen customer satisfaction.